The booming brain supplement industry, with its sleek packaging and promises of sharper memory, better focus, and age-defying cognition, has a secret it's not exactly hiding, but also not shouting from the rooftops. Many of these so-called nootropics are, quite literally, just concentrated herbs in capsules. And while that might sound underwhelming at first, like finding out your space-age brain booster is just grandma's pantry in a pill, it's actually part of what makes the field so fascinating. Because it turns out that nature has been quietly brewing cognitive enhancers for centuries, and modern neuroscience is only now starting to catch up with what herbal traditions have long observed, that certain plants really do affect the brain, and not just in poetic or placebo-driven ways. Let's start with the obvious. Yes, there is a real overlap between the compounds found in pharmaceutical nootropics and those found in natural herbs. In fact, many drug discoveries, especially those related to the nervous system, trace their roots back to plant chemistry. Take galantamine, a drug approved for Alzheimer's treatment. It's derived from the snowdrop flower, but shares a functional similarity with sage, which also inhibits acetylcholinesterase, the enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter central to memory and learning. So whether you're taking a lab-synthesized galantamine or a concentrated sage extract, you're engaging the same biological pathway, just with different levels of precision, dosage control, and FDA oversight. Another star in the brain-boosting herb cabinet is Bacopa monnieri, an Ayurvedic herb known for its memory-enhancing effects. Bacopa works by modulating levels of acetylcholine and dopamine, reducing oxidative stress, and possibly supporting synaptic plasticity. These mechanisms closely mirror what some synthetic cognitive enhancers try to accomplish, just without the custom-tailored molecular architecture. Then there's ginkgo biloba, which improves microcirculation and acts as a mild MAO inhibitor, a property it shares with certain prescription antidepressants and attention-enhancing drugs. And rhodiola? It targets stress pathways and neurotransmitter balance in ways that echo SSRIs, just without the same potency or the same baggage. Of course, the comparison isn't always flattering for the herbal side. Pharmaceutical nootropics are often more targeted and powerful, offering clearly defined mechanisms, reliable dosing, and double-blind clinical trial data. Modafinil, for instance, enhances wakefulness and executive function by modulating dopamine transporters in a way that no herb can fully replicate. Drugs like donepezil and memantine are designed to surgically tweak neurochemical systems, and they come with pharmacokinetic profiles optimized for consistency and predictability. But here's the trade-off. With great power comes greater side effects. Many pharmaceuticals work like a spotlight, bright, focused, and sometimes blinding, while natural nootropics tend to behave more like ambient light, gentler, slower, and more holistic in their effects. That's why herbs like ashwagandha or lemon balm might not turn you into a chess grandmaster overnight, but they may enhance memory and focus in subtle, cumulative ways, especially when stress or inflammation is part of the cognitive fog. It's also worth noting that herbal nootropics often come as biochemical ensembles, not solo acts. A rosemary extract might contain carnosic acid, rosmarinic acid, and dozens of minor phytochemicals, all interacting with multiple pathways at once. This polypharmacy in a plant model contrasts with the single-target design of most synthetic drugs and may explain why herbs often show broader, if milder, effects. Some researchers argue that this multi-pronged approach might actually be better suited to complex problems like age-related cognitive decline, which isn't caused by one thing going wrong but by many systems slowly fraying. So are brain supplements just bottled herbs? Often, yes. But that's not necessarily a criticism. It's more like a reminder that much of what we call cutting edge in the world of cognitive enhancement is rooted, quite literally, in ancient soil. Whether you're chewing on gotu kola or swallowing a capsule-labeled focus blend, you're engaging with nature's pharmacopoeia, sometimes lightly dressed up, sometimes heavily engineered, but rarely without precedent. The real question going forward isn't whether natural nootropics work. Many clearly do, at least under certain conditions, but how best to integrate them with lifestyle, diet, and even conventional medicine. It's not a battle between science and herbs. It's a question of dosage, context, and synergy. Because the brain doesn't care if a molecule came from a leaf or a lab. It only cares whether that molecule helps it fire a little clearer, adapt a little faster, and maybe remember where you put your keys.